How much money do I make as a merchant marine? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Dean. Today we're going to get into how much money I make as a merchant marine, specifically an able-bodied seaman. Best job in the world. I work in the deck department in the merchant marine. I'm the guy who steers the ship, who ties up the ship, and keeps the ship looking pretty. So we're going to get into how much money I make each month and how much money I made in 120 days on a ship. Now, I really enjoyed this ship. We visited Germany, Greece, Belgium, England. It was a really good ship. It was a car carrier. Tote services, the Ark Independence. Really good crew. Had a great time on that ship. As a merchant marine, you're getting paid on a few variables. You're getting the rating, so your job title. I'm an AB, then there's mates, then there's engineers, then there's the stewards department, then the contract itself. So if you're working for Tote, it is a very different contract than when you're working for the company OSG, and it's a very different contract than when you're working for the Maersk company. All through the same union, is what I know. I don't know what people are doing in MSC, what tugs are doing. I just know what union deep sea vessels are doing. Then you got the ship's operation. So a cable laying ship is going to get paid differently than a container ship, or a heavy lift ship, or a ro-ro. It gets complicated, but at the end of the day, we're making money. We're making good money. So stick around, get the details. Getting into more detail about the ratings on a ship. So I'm an AB, able-bodied seaman. I'm a little higher than the entry-level jobs on a ship. Deck department entry-level job is OS. Then you got the SA and the galley. In the engine room, you got the oiler, wiper, one of those. They have like a million different names down there. So I'm one step above them. I get paid more than they do. The entry level still gets paid very good. I get paid a little more. Then above me are people like the bosun, people like the chief steward, people like the mates, and the captain, and the engineers. All those people make more money than me. So I have a long way to go to climb up the ladder until I'm at the top, till I'm at the captain level, which I hope to get to one day. For an able-bodied seaman, you're working 12 hours a day. 8 hours of that time, you'll be on the bridge of the ship, standing watch, steering the ship if need be. Now, your overtime comes in when you're on deck, doing deck maintenance. That is the physical labor of the job. That is the chipping and painting, working on the crane, whatever, working on the lifeboats, whatever needs to get done. Getting more specific, with an AB, there's an AB watchstander who spent his time on the bridge, keeping watch, steering the ship, doing all things like that. Then there's the AB maintenance. He is sticking with the bosun all day, working out on deck all day. He does no time on the bridge. The guy who's doing the AB maintenance, he's getting paid more, just a little bit more. But you're not getting the same amount of sea time. When you're an AB watchstander, you're getting sea time that can be taken over and used if you ever want to get your mate's license. That's a whole nother discussion. With the pay, it's a little tricky on ships. You have the day rate, which is the same every day, base wage, monthly wage, all kind of the same thing. You get a set pay every day. Say it's $250 a day. Then, which is 8 hours a day, $250 a day, 8 hours a day. Then you get your overtime rate, which is where you make your money. You always work 4 hours of overtime a day, and then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, are all overtime. So all that overtime accumulated is making you money. Good money. And then you got penalty. Penalty is when it gets a little complicated and it varies per ship. But this is when you do a little more of a physical, dangerous task. It's like if you're going into a tight space. It's like if you're dealing with some type of toxic cargo or putting metal bright to get the rust out of the metal. Splash in your eyes could be dangerous. Penalty is just a couple extra bucks anytime you do something dangerous. Another thing to think about when it comes to the pay of a merchant marine is through my union, the SIU, Seafarers International Union, we get vacation pay every time we get off a ship. So, for example, on this ship, this was 16 days of the 30 days of your base wage. So they would take your base wage and they would cut it in half, and then each month worked, you would get that. So I worked for 4 months, I would get half the base wage, half the base wage, half the base wage, half the base wage as my vacation check. So say it was $1,500, $1,500, $1,500, $1,500, $1,500 totaled on my vacation check, which is nice. A nice little sum of money you just get handed to when you get home. Now you know how Merchant Marine gets paid, so let's see how much money I specifically made on my last ship as an AB, baby. Here we go. Tote Services, Ark Independence, out of Jacksonville, Florida. Dean, able-bodied seaman. Okay. Payroll, summary payroll voucher. This was my sign-off payroll voucher. The summary of all the money I made in the 120 days, 4 months I was on that ship. The sign-on date, February 29, 2024, and the sign-off date, July 6, 2024. So I would say that's about, I think, 135 days or something, to be very specific. Usually you sign a contract with a ship for 120 days, 4 months. You very well can easily go over that. And if you choose to, you can go over that. If the union allows you and the company allows you, you can stay on the ship as long as you want, making that money. Well, looking down on the earnings here, you can see the base wage. The base wage is, like I said, your daily rate. Now, I have 130 days of the base wage. Okay, right? The rate here seems to be 153.17, which equals up to $4,595 a month. Makes sense, right? Look at the amount of overtime hours I had. The amount of overtime hours I've had, 560.50 hours of overtime. Your overtime rate is $30. That came out to $16,815 added on to your $19,000 that you made in your daily wage. So your base wage, I ended up making almost $20,000, just my day rate, and then plus the overtime, which is almost $17,000 in overtime. And then you look at the Saturday and Sunday holiday, which is another almost $6,000 added on to that. That's just the money I made for working on Saturdays and Sundays, which are all overtime. So in 4 months, how many Saturdays and Sundays are there? Who fucking knows? But I got paid for them, and I got good money for them. Penalty overtime here. So I only had 6 hours of penalty. It's $270 for 6 hours. And it's not like I'm doing extra work. I'm just doing the penalty in my overtime, but it's getting extra money because it's penalty. And then I got holiday pay because I was there for 4th of July. Yeah, maybe some other holiday. But it says 3 hours of holiday pay, which came out to $153.17. So it just ended up being my day rate. Awesome. All right, we're gonna go down here and look at the total of 130 something days, 4 months I was on this ship. Let's see here. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I walked out in my pocket $35,903.79. Yeah, that was after tax. Before tax is 40 grand. After tax, I'm walking home with 36 grand in 4 months. That's it, baby. 36 grand in 4 months. That is why you should be a merchant marine. 36 grand in 4 months. I have no education. No specific skills besides being a merchant marine and being an able-bodied seaman. $36,000, baby, 4 months. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Don't forget the $35,903. That is before my vacation check when I get home. So guess what? I got another 7-8 grand handed to me when I got home. Do the math, because I don't feel like doing it. 35,000 plus 7,000. I can't do math. That's how much money I made. Whatever 35,000 plus 7,000 is. Can't beat it. Be a merchant marine. Or at least watch the channel. Follow the channel. Subscribe. Why not? Just do it. 35,000 plus 7,000. 4 months. Hell yeah.